Hey guys, Sean Terry here, Flip2Freedom.com, and I am back with video number 3 of the 3-part series that I've been doing over the last couple weeks. I actually started out in California, and now I'm back here in Arizona in the blistering heat. Kids start school this week, and I wanted to finish up this video series for you. So this 3-part series has been about the mindset, mechanics of the business, and systems. 3 things that people have most of their questions revolve around are those things. So I was actually at Monarch Beach Resort, and I recorded about systems out there. Then I was out on a run and down in my house in Dana Point, California. Went down to the Bluff, talked about mechanics, and now I want to talk about the mindset side, which is the most important aspect when it comes to mindset, mechanics, and systems. So, mindset is 80% of the entire thing, right? When it comes to the mechanics and it comes to the systems and everything, if you don't have the mindset going in, then it's all pretty much worthless because that's where everybody drops the ball. So let's talk about mindset. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about mindset. Let's talk about what mindset is, and I try to put it in as simple terms as possible because I'm a fairly simple person, and I don't want to get into neuro-linguistic programming and get into how your brain works and focusing and this, that, and the other, and and all these different things that I've read and I studied about. But primarily for me, mindset is the battle between you and self-doubt, right? Self-doubt is that internal voice that is constantly nagging at you and at me 24/7 about everything. We could look in the mirror and go, oh my gosh, I feel overweight, or I look overweight, or I got to lose 5 more pounds, or I got to lose 10 more pounds. You get on the scale and the same thing. You look at your business and you go, oh man, I should be doing this and I should be doing that. I should be this far ahead and I should be that far ahead. I should have my first deal done. I should have this much money in the bank. And you look at new opportunities and you go, well, I don't have time for that. Maybe I don't have the smarts for that. What if I try it and I screw up? What if I lose money? And we have these conversations, and to this day, I still have these conversations in my head, constantly, going back and forth. The only difference is that I don't listen to them, right? There's a difference when you have self-doubt. You can listen to it, that voice, and you can act upon that voice, right, and not take action to go out and get results. See, I do the opposite of my voice, and so what I want to talk about in this video particularly is about mindset, about that voice that's going on in your head, and how to combat it. Literally give you a baseball bat. Now, here's the thing. I picture this little voice, like this little dude that's sitting on your shoulder, right? And it's just constantly nagging your ear of telling you it's your worst critic, And imagine if you could just grab that tail, grab that thing by the legs and just smash it down and just get rid of it. Or I give you a baseball bat, you can just beat it off your shoulder. That's what I'm talking about, is giving you the ammunition that you can fight that voice. But first off, we have to recognize what that voice is and understand that that voice is one of the main reasons why we are at where we're at, why we feel the way we feel, whether it be good or bad or whatever. And it creates insecurities, it creates self-doubt, it creates this lack of confidence, it creates the fear, it creates the anxiety, the worry that we have in our lives. And those are all emotions and all fears that attract more of the same. It attracts more of anguish and fear and anxiety and worry and all those things that we don't want in our lives. Okay, so let's talk about how to, first off, knowing and understanding. You might think I'm crazy. You're like, what are you talking about? I don't have a little voice in my head. I tell myself great things all the time. Well, then you're special because, 99.9% of the people I talk to, have issues with self-doubt. Everybody does. Everybody beats themselves up. About certain things, and it might be business, it might be your health, it might be your relationship, I remember sometimes when my wife and I were going through a roller coaster, I would fight with her in my head about something that I think we were going to fight about, right? And guess when you do that, it creates the fight. So I'm sitting there having an argument with her in my head of what I think we're going to be arguing about, and we haven't even argued yet. How stupid is that? That's dumb. But I can tell you, and I just want to be honest with you, I got it. I have, the fear and anxiety and the worry and all that type of stuff. People have it all the time, whether you're successful or not successful. The question becomes, how can we, overcome it, and how can we progress past it, recognize it, and then have tools to overcome it, right? So first off, let's talk about what we can do is first off, we have to, what we can do to give you the baseball bat to beat that little voice to death, and then be able to recognize it, understand it, and then mute it. If we can mute the voice, that's the most important thing. All right. So first off, one of the best tactics we can do is have what's called a mantra, or an incantation, or something that we can say to ourselves over and over and over when that little voice is starting to come in our head. Right. So interestingly enough, we were at the Scale and Escape Summit, and Jesse Itzler, who's going to be speaking at the Extreme Freedom Live coming up here at the end of October. And Jesse Itzler is an amazing man. He actually has run the ultra marathon, 100 miles in less than 32 hours, multiple times. He has a best-selling book, Living with the Seal. Phenomenal gentleman, created Marquis Jet, created the Zinca coconut water. He's a billionaire, incredible gentleman, has such amazing wisdom. But one thing he talked about is having this mantra during a situation of massive challenge. And the massive challenge, and he's talking specifically about this 100-mile race that he did, the ultra marathon. Now, what happens is during the ultra marathon, 100 miles. Now, I don't know, have you ever run 100 miles? I've run, 8 miles in the Marine Corps when I was in there, and literally my brain was just, freaking out because my legs were hurting and my ankles were hurting and my chest was burning, and my brain's like, you gotta stop. This is ridiculous. Stop, right? So we have these things going on. It's your brain, your body is in pain, and how do you overcome it? Well, imagine running 100 miles, right? How does a person do that? Right? The energy and so the bottom line is you get to a certain point and everything shuts down because your brain is just like, you just can't do it. So what do you do to overcome that? He talked about having a mantra or an incantation that you can say over and over and over and over again. So, here's an example of a mantra. You could say something to yourself like, today I am invincible. Today I am strong. Today I'm confident. Today all things are possible. Today everything goes my way. Today I do whatever it takes. Today I'm a warrior, right? And you could say those things over, so you have this doubt in your head that you can't do it, right? And you have this doubt where you go, hey, I've got to send out some mail to go find motivated sellers. I've got to go out and I've got to go talk to a seller, go talk to a buyer. You're afraid to sign a contract. But you know what? Today you're invincible. Today you're a warrior. Today you have what it takes. Today anything is possible. Today all things go your way. Today is your day. Today is where you make things happen. Today is where you change your life. Today is the day. So if you pit and you say that over and over with emotion and think, guess what? Today's your day. Today is the day that everything changes. Today, I'm done with the past, and now I'm looking to the future, and everything changes from this point forward. Why? Because I have conquered my little voice. I have found a way to conquer it. So those are incantation. Guess what? I use them. You know, I was at, this past Saturday, I was at CrossFit. And CrossFit, we did this ridiculous workout in CrossFit. You know, where we're, I don't even want to get into the exercise because I'll wear you out. The bottom line is, it was intense, right? And we were sitting there, and we're going straight hard for about 32 minutes, just going nuts, you know, with kettlebells and, you know, and burpees and pull-ups and rowing machine as fast as humanly possible, to snatches, to overhead presses, to the whole thing. I mean, just going, you know, the whole CrossFit thing, right? So I remember halfway through it, and I'm like, today, I'm sitting there on the row machine, and we're pumping out 2,000 meters, and I'm sitting there, I can do it, and my legs are burning, my heart's pounding out of my chest, I'm sweating all over the place. Today is the day. I'm a beast. Today I'm a beast. Today I can do it. Today I have what it takes. Today I can keep on going. Today I can do that extra mile. Today is my next thing. Let's go, right? Now, I'm not saying that to everybody else. I'm saying it to myself, right? I'm getting myself going. And that's what I'm talking about. So when you're going to take action and go do something, you're afraid in your brain, have that mantra. Have that mantra in your head and talk yourself into it. Successful people do that. A billionaire, Jesse Itzler, he not only does that in his 100-mile race, he does that in his life. He has a contact, a very influential contact that can make a massive difference in his business. And he's like, well, what if the guy doesn't want to talk to me? I don't want to bug him. I don't want to, inconvenience this guy. I'm probably going to call and I'm going to have to get through all his minions to get to him and stuff like that. What does he do? Today is the day. Today I'm going to make it happen. Today I'm going to do whatever it takes. Today, all things are possible. And he picks up the phone and makes the call, right? And he gets through all the minutia and he finds a way and he gets to that guy and he makes that deal that needs to be made. See, that's what I'm talking about. That little thing is a mindset shift that gives you the edge, right? This one thing. Now let's talk about something else, right? That's a little baseball bat. That's a little baseball. Let's give you a bigger baseball bat. You can smash that little voice. Now let's talk about something else. Another thing is, what if you are, worried about, let's say, money, finances? You don't know where the next dollar is going to come from. You're stressed out about money, and I'm stressed out about, finances, and you're worried, right? Now, what happens with the law of attraction, our thoughts, right, create emotions, and our emotions create the vibrational attraction point. So worrying about how you're going to pay your bills is creating an emotional point of worry, and it's attracting more worry into it. You're like a radio, you're like flipping through the radio stations, driving down the freeway, and you're flipped to the worry station, right? And everything on that station is about worry, and more worry, more story, everything comes your way. All right, more things to worry about. Another bill comes in. You're afraid to check the mail because the bill's going to come in, right? Worry. So what happens is, what can we do when that feeling or that thought of worry, because we direct our thoughts. We determine what we think about. God has given us the ability of only one thing in this entire world, right? It's not your spouse. I can tell you right now. It's not your kids to a certain point, right? It's not your dog, right? They're going to pee where they're going to pee wherever they want to pee, right? Right, Lily? Good dog. So the bottom line is that, you can train them, but you can't control them. God gave us only control of one thing. You know what that one thing is? Your thoughts. what you think about. Can't control the weather. Can't control whether you're going to live or die tomorrow. Tomorrow might be it for you. Might be it for me. But guess what? You can control your thoughts. So we control our thoughts. Our thoughts create our feelings. Our feelings create our magnetic energy, right, inside our lives, right? So it creates that. So the bottom line is that we understand that, and we create our thoughts, or we direct our thoughts. So if we're thinking about lack and limitation and what we can't do, what we have to do is recognize it first off. Once we recognize it, then we can pivot and think through a different thought. Or what you can do is an affirmation, right? Almost like an incantation, but an affirmation. You know, you can say like, I am so thankful that my bank account now swells with huge deposits that are coming in frequently and easily, under grace and in a perfect way, right? Imagine that. I am so thankful that my bank account swells with huge deposits that come into my bank account frequently and easily under grace and in a perfect way, right? That is something you can say over and over and over and over again, and you're controlling your thoughts. And what are you controlling? You're controlling your thoughts, and now what's happening? You see your bank account swelling with massive deposits that are coming in frequently and easily under grace in a perfect way, and you're saying thanks for it. That's huge, right? That's huge. Read the book, The Game of Life by Florence Scovel Shinn. Florence Scovel Shinn. And she talks about why these affirmations that we say, right, bring about huge things. Like in the Bible, they talked about where they yell, I read the Bible, I don't know it inside and out, and I can't quote scripture and any of that type of stuff, but the bottom line is they yelled and the walls of Jericho came down. They had to take action and they had to speak, and the walls came crashing down. Our thoughts and what we speak it into existence. So give thanks that your bank account is now swelling with huge deposits that are happening frequently and easily under grace and in a perfect way, right? Read The Game of Life. It's a great book, amazing book. Now that's number two. Now, the third thing, right? The third thing is gratitude. Gratitude pretty much wraps up the entire thing. But people talk about gratitude and they go, hey, you have to be grateful. You've got to have gratitude in your life. And I'm like, what the heck is that? Right? What's gratitude? Gratitude, Tony Robbins says something incredibly important. If you ask the right questions, you'll get the right answers. Ask smarter questions. So I'm sitting there thinking, I started, looking at Google and stuff like that. And, what are questions that we could ask ourselves that would invoke gratitude? Because here's the thing, there's two things. Either, someone opens a door for you and it's a very kind gesture. You can feel grateful for that specific situation and say, wow, man, thank you so much. I really appreciate you opening the door for me. Thank you so much. Or someone buys you lunch. That's huge. Hey, say, thank you so much. I really appreciate you, buying lunch, man. That's great. I thank you so much. I appreciate that. And you feel grateful for that. But those are external things that happen to you, and they might happen today or they might not. What we want to do is we want to control, to the certain point, because we only can control certain things, right? Control gratitude. And we can do that by our thoughts. We can do that by asking the right questions. We want to invoke gratitude in our life. Why? Because because it attracts great things in your life. Gratitude opens all doors. Gratitude is this, think about this. Gratitude is the secret sauce, is the ingredient, is what you are missing. If you're not grateful, you could be a billionaire and be miserable, and you're not wealthy. You could be the most fittest person on the planet, but if you're not grateful, you're not wealthy. You could have a huge apartment complex portfolio, making $100,000 a month, flipping houses, doing, if you're not grateful, you're not wealthy. But guess what? If you're grateful on whatever, and you might not have you don't think you have a lot to be grateful for. There's some times in my life where it was hard to find things to be grateful for. But think about this. Think about a person that you can count on. So and here's the question. What is one person you can count on right now, and how do you feel about them? So when I think of that question, I think of my wife, right? My wife is a rock star. She is solid as a rock. She has the most common sense of any person I have ever met. If I ever have a question about business, about life, about anything, I go to her. She's amazing, just awesome. And then, so I think that's the person who is somebody that someone that I basically is amazing, right? And how do I feel about that person? Who is my go-to person? And who's that? Who is your go-to person? Who is some person that you trust, some person that has your back, some person you can count on? Who is that person, and how specifically do you feel about them? Now, I think about my wife, and I was, oh my gosh, man, I love my wife. I've been with her almost 21 years, married almost 21 years. We were together several years before that. We got 2 beautiful kids, built an incredible life together. I love her more than anything in this world, and I'm completely grateful for her. That invokes that feeling of gratitude. Think about this. What is something that inspired you recently? What is something that inspired you recently? That's an interesting, What's inspired you? Maybe you watched a video, maybe you watched something that gave you the inspiration that, like, yes, I can do this. I have what it takes. What is something that has inspired you? And then feel gratitude for that. Or what is one piece of information that is going to help you in your future? So I'm reading this book, and it talked about the specific technique, business technique. I can't really get into it. It's pretty lengthy. Business technique that was, wow, game-changing for me. Just wow. Just like I heard it before, but I haven't heard it in that manner. And have you ever heard when the student's ready, the teacher will appear? Well, for me, I was ready to hear this particular message. And you've probably heard it. Everyone's heard it. It's not a new concept or anything. But for me, it was like it was something that was brand spanking new. And for me, I was like, wow, this is a huge thing that if I implemented in my life, could make a huge difference. So I look at that and I was like, wow, this guy wrote a book. And he puts this information in a book in a way and presented it in a way that really impacted me. Wow, I am grateful for that I found that piece of information in that book that's going to make a massive impact in my future. And guess what? I'm going to share it with you guys in the future once I, iron out all the things and figure out the systems myself. I'll share it with you guys because I want to make an impact on you too. But what is something that, piece of information that's going to help you in your future? What is that? And feel grateful for it. Questions like that can make a difference in your life and change your mindset. Gratitude. I wake up early in the morning and I invoke gratitude. I feel gratitude. And that literally just puts a ripple effect out through the day, and it makes the day incredible, And all I can say is when I do it, everything goes smooth, and when I don't, everything's rocky. So look at your life right now and think about it and see, just try it. Is everything a struggle? Is everything uphill? Is everything, hard? It's like taking a round peg and shoving it in a square hole. If that's the type of life that, you're grinding away, imagine if you had everything go your way. Imagine if everything lined up perfectly. Imagine if, you could ask and you would receive. You're looking for the right person and the right person shows up. So I was looking for another sales guy, and boom, the right person just showed up. I don't know how it happens. It's gratitude. Things come my way. Things that I want in my life and I put an intention for and change, things just show up perfectly. That's my story, right? If you believe that and feel that and know that everything's going to go your way. The other thing too is I believe in God and I have 100% faith in Him and trust in Him, and I know He's got my back. I know it for a fact. It's a huge edge. Because if He's for me, who can be against me, right? Nothing. So the bottom line is this, is that I know if you get outside your head and use these tools to overcome it and really engineer that gratitude and that excitement and that, guess what? Your life will change. It will change for the better. This is the mindset of a warrior. This is the mindset of a successful person, and you can adopt this in your life. Wake up early, focus on gratitude, focus what you're grateful for, plan out your day, and then watch what happens over a very short time. Your life will change dramatically. And then when those doubt voices come up and when those self-doubt, if you don't think you can do it, or you're not good enough, or you don't have what it takes, or you don't have the money to do it, or you don't have all this, whatever, you know what? Today is your day. Today you're going to make it happen. Today you're going to find a way. Today you have what it takes. Today all things are possible. Today everything goes your way. Today you are a warrior. And today you're a beast. So go out and be the beast you know you can be. Grab life. Because we only live once. That's it. We only live once. And now's the time to live it to the fullest. So I love you guys. Please share this video if you see value in it. I greatly appreciate it. If you want to learn more, go to Flip2Freedom.com. Flip2Freedom. Flip the number 2 freedom. It's down here. The link in this video, or it's on this page, Flip2Freedom.com. Go there. Download my book for free. Learn how to flip houses. Learn how to go out and make a bunch of money. Then you can turn around and impact other people's lives in a positive way, which I hope this video has done for you. So, thank you so much. Take care, and God bless.